Riding through this world to downtown. It's Teller Tuesday and it's Better Half, episode 10 of season 1, and here is 3 facts before the episode. We have got first use of Rico, which I think is a pretty important fact because Rico is used quite a lot throughout the show. Thoughts on Rico, and not Rico for 3-minute warning?
I don't like Rico. They're using a Rico case against us, Jax. No, don't give them anything. Rico just seems like a cheap way to fucking get someone done for something that happened like 2 decades ago.
We gotta establish past and the present. Yeah, no, it does. It seems like a backdoor maneuver.
Leave the past in the past, in my opinion. Let's move on.
Only time in the show where Unser is at the table. There's a really funny scene where Unser's at the table.
For some reason, he's just skipped fact number 2. So
I feel like that's important. I'm gonna get the final one.
Right, okay.
Alright, so Unser's at the table, he floats, and then Clay kind of just shoots him down for
Put your hand down.
Right, and then fact number 3, which I think is absolutely insane. It is the only time in the show Luann and Otto share on-screen time. You wouldn't think it.
Yeah, but then again, you also thought it was crazy that Otto and Chucky were only on screen once. So, I mean...
But that's different.
How?
Because she could visit him. Well, once Chucky's out, he's out.
Would he not visit him? Shows loyalty?
It's a bit weird.
Especially when he's
taking, as Kyle would say, I didn't want to take family time away from you and Luann. I mean, that's Kyle would say.
Well, hold on. Once Luann bites the bullet here and Chucky's back with the club, is Chucky not like family? As good as it gets.
Pretty much.
And anyway, with that said, let's move in to the review.
Yes, we kick off the episode. We've got the ATF basically doing all these raids. We've got Half-Sack dropping off Cherry at some appointment, and then we see police going past. And fun fact, this is actually the police on their way to question Donna and also the likes of Luann, which we then pan to because Luann is getting questioned. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. Then Stall opens this box of gear. We've got Viagra, cocaine,
drugs,
poppers,
blow, you name it, they'll sell.
And it's like, you're charged with the possession with intent to distribute, man. It's all going to shit. We've got Jax and Opie working on the bikes. Jax says that, Opie says to Jax, you've kind of been going all weird since the Hefner hit. And Opie's like, yeah, I wasn't ready, man.
You're right, Jackson.
Yeah, and also it's at this point, it's been like a 2-week time skip if anyone is keeping that in track. So I wonder how long's actually passed since episode 1. But who really cares? Because the ATF are at Unser's police station. And he's no happy. He's like, what the hell? You guys want to run a goddamn wing? Even though he said that a few episodes ago, but the line was that good, it's getting used twice. And then Stall says, why don't you play around the golf? Or better yet, get around the chemo.
Great line, I thought.
It is.
Just buried him.
And he's nothing to say. His office is getting borrowed, and he just wants clinically depressed. But to be honest, I like Unser, right? He's great. And even though the ATF come across his heels here, but you can kind of see why he shouldn't be a part of this. I mean, no more than 10 minutes after this, he's sitting at the fucking table.
I know, and he's wondering why the ATF want him fucking out. He's basically a member of the club at this point. At this point, he's always kind of been a member of the club. I was never in on it. I was never taking a paycheck. I think you were, Unser. I want to see your bank balance.
No, I want to see the bank balance.
I want to see the receipts.
But talking about banks, the door is closed on the fault, because that's what it's definitely called. Hale and then Stall are basically discussing what's happened. Hefner, she basically puts 2 and 2 together, explains to him that SAMCRO killed Hefner. But then again, say Cameron Hayes didn't get shot and he kills Hefner. By her logic, it was still the Suns did it.
True.
So I guess the Suns were kind of in a lose-lose situation here, because even if
she doesn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So even if they did it or not, it still looks like to her, that's happened. But she goes on to talk about their connections for important guns for Dunglow, and that she wants to use the RICO Act. So she has to establish past and present crimes. So she's going to go after the women, of course. She's got Luann, and now it looks like she's going to go after Tara, Donna, and Cherry. But, Hale's kind of like, Tara's not one of them. Tara's not what she spent the last couple of nights there, Hale. Got a little stiffy for Miss Tara. Hale's raging. Captain America is fucking greeting, isn't he?
Captain America just got his wings clipped.
Goddamn right. But we see Cammy Hayes. He's recovering well. Gemma visits him and gives him groceries in. Clay's on the phone saying, we're going to keep him up there a bit.
You're a Catholic, Gemma. No, fuck you.
I know, I know he's trying to make conversation, but I mean, what if
she turns and says, no, Cameron, I'm a Protestant.
Oh, well, boy. Name the Celtic starting 11, brother. You know, and then Clay's on the phone saying, we're going to have to keep him there a bit longer. And then, like, literally by the episode end, he's at the fucking country. You know, like, talk about getting him over quick. He says, I'm going to send Happy to get the job done up at the cabin. But we've got the clubhouse, we've got Clay and Bobby sitting down, kind of looking a bit depressed. Then, talking of depression, Opie walks in, even more depressed. He says, could he get his payment for Hefner just a little bit quicker? Bobby says he'll get the money to him. And as Opie's like, not even at the door, Clay's like, what the hell's up with him, man? And then Bobby's like, his heart's in it, but his head ain't. And like, Bobby just showing here that he's the words of, he's Mr. Wisdom, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Because Opie is just, he hits the nail on the head there. And as Opie arrives home, Donna's packing and ready to leave. And it's at this point, I just hope Donna does. Do you not hope Donna dies at this point?
Yeah, why not?
Like,
she sucks. I mean,
she sucks. She's leaving Opie, and I see for like all the stuff that spirals out of control in the next few episodes. I think she's fucking as much to blame as the people holding the guns.
Oh, piss off.
She is. As Jack said a few episodes ago, Opie can't live half in, half out.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah, guys.
Fully in then.
Aye, fully in. But aye, he puts the envelope down. There's the payment. That's the mortgage paid. We're going to be able to eat warm tonight. The more it may be a cold tin of cat food, but tonight, brother, we're all right. But he says, you know what? If you can't accept me be back in the club, then fuck off back to TJ. And then does she keep packing?
I don't know. I think she stops. Like, I don't know.
I think she just starts crying as Opie like walks.
Opie's like, I'm gonna go and see my kids. The kids that don't like me. I'm gonna go and see them anyway.
Yeah, and then Cherry runs into Gemma at the grocery store. But it's almost like this scene like interlines with the start of the episode where Half Sack drops her off. Like, what was Cherry doing?
Getting a nail appointment.
There you go. He knows his stuff. So the ATF.
Well, she just tell Gemma that, like, so I mean.
Well, there you go. She also tells Gemma a lot more here, that she was married in Nevada and that
her name's not even Cherry.
It's Rita. She burnt the house down, stole the dog, and stole the car. And it's like, what age do we think Cherry is?
So you're a thief and a liar. Like, see, when Cherry got introduced, I always had the feeling she was like
early 20s.
Early 20s, aye.
But the fact she was married, on the run, and all this stuff, that puts her closer to like 30 in my book.
Yep.
Just off logic, like, I mean, she's still, I mean, she could be fucking 19 for all we know, and this has all happened within a year or something, but, you know, who really knows? And, she tries to flee the store, cracks some agent in the face with, like, a can of food or, like, a bottle of wine. It was, I mean, that was fucking...
It looked like a bottle of wine, mate. It definitely wasn't a can of food, like...
Well, it says on the Wikipedia page, can of food, mate, so I've...
the Wikipedia page is talking shit.
And then we get an interesting interaction here between Gemma and Stoll. It's like, I think it's like the first time these two have actually interacted, isn't it?
The actress that plays Cherry is 44 years old.
Which would have made her, at the time, 30. Which puts my estimation right on the money.
But Half-Sack would have been a lot younger than that, I feel. Half-Sack didn't strike me as someone, even though he'd done a tour of Iraq, it just didn't strike me as someone who was 30. Looked younger than that. Anyway, you carry on and I'll find out the age of Johnny Lewis.
Well, the age of his rotten corpse. R.I.P. Johnny Lewis. But I began an interesting interaction between Stoll and Gemma, basically saying how many secrets are kept in that skull. And then Gemma's like to Stoll, you know, it's fun to be a woman. Time to unscrew the penis, brother. And I think it's a valid point. Like, Stoll...
He would have been 39.
No?
Aye.
So it'd been 25. 5-year gap. Well, I mean, it's about right. But aye, Stoll then questions Cherry and basically talking to 25 says to her, you know what, Cherry, you're getting a 25-year prison sentence rammed up your ass and you'll just be out in time for menopause. And see, to be honest, I never, like, you always thought that Cherry's going to rat. This isn't a person that's fucking strong. Like,
yeah.
If she's going to get off with her sentence by giving up Indian Hills or SAMCRO, she's going to do it.
But then, wouldn't she be a dead woman, really?
No, she would be.
Or they
surely,
offer some sort of fucking...
Whatsack? But surely the risk of that is greater than doing 25 years. Like,
well, would you not rather get out and try and avoid the club than be stuck in prison and fucking...
Exactly, like the risk, you know, but she's giving it to that blonde and like patch over, like, oh, aye, man, this is the life. And then like, here the arse is gone.
Like, this is going to sound retarded, and if I sound like an idiot for saying this, then... apologies, but does rape happen in female prisons?
course it does. It'll happen in any prison. Rape just doesn't have to be one gender, you know.
I'm well fucking aware of that.
Aye, but why can't it happen in female prisons? Of course it happens in female prisons.
'Cause I think it's harder for a female to rape a female than it is for her to rape a male. It's like fucking trying to use a jigsaw that just doesn't connect.
And on that note, we move on.
No, but you're trying to say there's no difference. I think there's a massive difference.
Right, there's a difference, but that doesn't mean it can't happen.
And why would you? It just doesn't make any sense to me. How would, if you're a female, how would you?
Why would a lot of people do sort of other stuff that we think, you know? But it's just the way the world fucking works, mate.
No, I just don't see how. All right, fair enough. I thought that was a fair fucking point. But I'd
say the numbers would be down on like male prisons, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
No shit. Of
course. Your question was, does it happen?
Yeah, well, my question is,
of course it fucking happens.
Well, why?
I don't know. You ask the fucking prisoners. Don't ask me.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a female prisoner. Am I?
Okay. I think it's quite clear why you can see why it happens in male prisons. But I just don't really see why it would. What's the point of it happening in a female? I don't. What's the end game like?
I'm not really sure, but here's my end game, right? Clay calls a meeting at the clubhouse, and we probably get one of the greatest sit downs of all time. Because we've Unser at the table with like great lines getting fired back right every direction, man. We've got them discussing here.
By the way, the only reason I brought it up is because, like, you know the way sometimes we say if you're a man, oh, you're gonna be taking up the ass for the next like 20 years, whatever. It's like it's sort of like a, you know, it's sort of like a different side of that in a female prison. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Fair enough.
Oh,
Right,
do you instead of fucking talk about the episode, do you want to talk about the in-depth review of female prisons?
No, I've never been in one, like, so I couldn't really tell you.
You've never been in a male prison either.
Well, that's true. I'll hopefully keep it that way.
Keep it that way, brother. But anyway, Clay's calling a meeting here, discussing what's going on. Unser's like sitting there, and then what was it? Chib says something along the lines of, what the hell we're going to do and about ATF, because you're out of here. And then Unser's like, what do you think about the goddamn table, Scotty? And it's just like,
Brilliant.
He almost had quote of the
episode he did, like.
And then Halfsack says that Cherry wouldn't rat, like literally in the next sentence, and then Chibs goes, would you bet your top rocker on that prospect?
I sure as fuck wouldn't, like.
No,
I mean, let's be honest, I mean, like someone like Gemma wouldn't, Luan, even though we think she's a fucking whore and doesn't deserve Otto and takes advantage, she's been around the club long enough to know that you can't rat. She kind of has that lifestyle, like.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Cherry really done to...
And then, like, even after this, like, Jax brings up the idea about how we break in, you've the keys, Unser, and we'll get a word to them that they can't give anything because it's Rico. And then even here, Halfsack goes, I'll go, and then Jack goes, no, retard, you shouldn't. And even that line, the delivery of the retard, I thought that was fucking brilliant. And then Clay's like, we folk this shit tonight. And he says, right now. And then Unser sticks his hand up. Everyone looks in disgust. Not you, man. Brilliant. Everyone looks in disgust. Especially Piney. Piney looked at Unser like he pissed himself and no him for once. Literally what it was. I don't know, but I thought this scene was brilliant. This is the sort of scene that automatically gets a point for the episode, in my opinion.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Look, I can't really recall many bad scenes at church.
No, I know.
I can't really remember many church meetings where I'm thinking, that scene was bad, or that wasn't a good scene, or, you know, I mean, every time you go to church, you're...
Like, obviously there's less important votes than others, but I mean, this was just, for the comedic element, like, this is what you wanted, brother. But Otto's in jail, Stoll visits him, basically says that Luan's facing 10 years in prison, but if you give me some shit crime that happened how many fucking years ago, it doesn't matter. She'll get off, and you'll 3 months in parole, you'll be getting out, mate. You're parole here, and don't worry about it. And then they put the plan in motion. We've got Bobby, Tig, and Piney going to a local bar, basically starting a fight. And it's interesting here. Piney says that black-haired prick right behind me and gets Tig beat up, essentially, even though Tig kind of wins the fight. But where's Piney getting physical here?
No, but I think that was planned because Tig was expecting the guy to come at him.
No, it definitely was. Like, but Piney was never going to get his hands dirty here, wasn't he not?
Well, in fairness, like, he's a fucking old fat bastard who uses an oxygen tank to get around. I don't think he's in... I think Penny should be saving his last couple of fights for when he actually needs to, not when he could be avoiding them, like, you know, so...
Oh, that's fair enough, but we're outside the police station. The police are now attending to this fight in the bar. Jax and Opie are about to go in, and Jax realizes Opie is absolutely at his tits here and says, "You know what, mate? You're no going in." So he goes in. He basically gets the message to Luan that they're using Rico, they're using ATF, so Otto can't say shit. And then Cherry basically, the arse collapse even more, says, "You know what, Jackie boy, I am going to rat, so you need to get me out of jail." And then he's like, "Fuck
See,
it."
think about it. Is this not poor from fucking Cherry? Basically, just admitting, look, I'm going to rat on all you bastards unless you. Is she not technically forcing Jax's hand here? Like, this is like blackmail. This is saying, like, get me out of here, I'm going to rat on you.
Yeah, like,
To me, this is. To me, what.
she's lucky this is Jax and not, like, you know, Tig or Clay or something.
I think it would be different if she was happy to stay in there, but Jax is coming to the conclusion, no, I've got to get her out of here. I think she'll rat or whatever. But she's the one actually coming out and stating that she will 100% rat if they don't get her out of jail. And for me, that's just as good as ratting. Like,
Yeah. No, absolutely, like, but I think, like I said, I think she's lucky that, you know, it wasn't like Clay. He probably would have fucking dropped her with a double barrel shotgun as soon as she said that. But, you know, it's the next morning. Cherry's missing, but this is a pretty scene that I find funny, right? So you've Hale and Stall like discussing that Cherry's went missing and that no need to fear because there's more evidence here to bring down SAMCRO, and you've got two pictures of Bobby and Opie. Now, how in the fuck could they get these clear of images of them? She peeked through the blinds. Yes, she could give a pretty good description.
I don't get. Even if she gives a good description,
How's the guy drew it that well?
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Like, Bobby is near enough drew perfectly.
I don't get. Think if you had to give a description of someone, how accurate a description could you really give? You'd be like, oh man, they were fat, or you know, they were pretty tall.
Like, realistically, right? You see in terms of their face, you could describe Bobby and Opie the same.
The only
Yes or no?
Well, you could say Bobby's
Long hair and beard. You could.
Well, one's in near their 50s, and the other one's probably in his late 20s or something.
Aye.
But my point being is, like, surely the only person that could have drew this good would have been the actual girl that witnessed it if she was an artist. It's almost like she's gave a brief description of what they look like to an artist, and they've come up and drew this. It doesn't make sense how you get a drawing this good, like, unless you've actually seen it yourself and you can draw.
Yeah, and of course for plot purposes, like, you know, like, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but, like, there's a reason why Opie is drawn a bit worse, but then again, like, I think of all the people that she would have seen through the blinds, Opie would have been clear, because Bobby comes from an angle where she was looking out at his back, while Opie was standing in front of the blinds. But maybe it's just the artist who drew Opie worse, I don't know.
Maybe Bobby's got more distinctive features or something, or
maybe, but back to present. Otto gives Stall a paper containing a heist that happened in 1999. It basically involves SAMCRO and a number of other charters. But like, that's the thing here. Even like, you could say this is like useless information. It's something that happened quite recently.
Yeah,
like within the decade, and I'm willing to bet if he's involving SAMCRO and other charters, like, there's going to have to be members that are still in the fucking charter that were a part of this.
Yeah, so it could,
even if it's not SAMCRO, you know. And then, somebody. Due to this, she lets Luan in. Luan then does mention to Otto that you can't give them anything, and then she's like, "Oh, Otto, you read it?" And he's like, "No, it'll be all right, brother." Then back at the clubhouse, we've got Clay telling Happy that Unser supplied them a truck. They're going to smuggle Cherry and Cameron out across the border. I wonder where they'll end up. Ireland, brother. Northern Ireland, actually. But then Happy says that his mother's sick and that he wants to visit her in Bakersfield. And then Clay's like, "That's alright, Happy, you're a good guy." He's going nomad, brother. So Happy, where was he? Tacoma? He was Tacoma. So now he's going nomad. And then Unser...
Clay's like, "There's always a seat here for you, brother."
Yeah, like, Clay was close with Happy, like.
He was.
Especially in the earlier seasons. And then Unser's like...
But you wouldn't think that, like, see, by the end of the show, you'd think, like, Happy's loyalty is to Jax.
Yeah.
But, if anything, Jax and Happy never really seemed that close to me.
Well, he was a sergeant, but I guess from a point of view...
till then.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm saying up till that point. I mean, early... From what we've seen now, I've never seen Jax got him, you know, alright, Happy, how's it going?
Fair enough. So I'm not going to get into it.
It's funny because Happy then leaves and Unser's like, he seems like a nice guy, and Clay spits his drink out.
I know
Nice guy.
he spits his whiskey.
Seen how many fucking tattoos that nice, so-called nice guy's got?
I know how many people's he killed, god damn it. But then we get the finale of the episode. Stahl walks in, shows Otto the statement. Otto says, "Is that a July? I needed a big..." And then he just grabs her fucking face and absolutely smashes it like 4 times. End of the table. He then gets beaten by officers, thrown to the deck. He's laughing. Stahl's like helped out of the room. She looks at the camera. He's laughing. She's like, "I'm gonna bury these assholes."
Get off of me!
It was
His
a
voice sounded very deep, like.
broken nose. I don't know. Maybe the sinuses are blocked, because I know when my sinuses get blocked, my voice gets a bit deeper. But we have to rate.
Fuck, I need to block my sinuses.
I know you do, you wee squeaky bastard. But we have to rate the episode out of 10. I'm going to give
We
it.
have to rate the episode out of 10. What are you giving it, big man? Go.
What are you
Go.
giving it, big man? I'm giving it.
I'm the big man.
I'm giving it a 9.
9, not bad. I'm gonna get an 8 though.
8.5. That's 2 and 8.5 back to back. But guys, guess what? It's your favourite part of the show up next. It's quote of the episode, an MVP. Quote of the episode was Chib saying, "Are you willing to bet your top rocker on that prospect?" We literally set in every fid, so it was going to be hard not to give this to Chibs. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a great line. Anytime we're unsure about something, this line, this quote always seems to like surface to the top. And I mean, it's brilliant. I don't know. It's just the way Chibs delivers it. It's great. Are you willing to bet your top rocker on that prospect?
But what I like about it, like, it has 2 meanings, because he's a prospect and also the situation's a prospect. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about it.
It's a bet.
And also, I mean, in the one scene, you've got like 5 lines that could have got this. Seeing
Yeah, the one
Mayans, like,
sit-down. I mean,
seeing-
I think you don't get 5 lines.
seeing Les Alvarez slamming the fucking gavel down, what's actually happening in Mayans sit down?
Arriba. You're late with my taco essay. I ordered that burrito 2 hours ago.
See, yeah, but like, what Alvarez killed his son for in the last episode, see what they've done to him in Mayans, like, fuck me, everyone should be getting killed. But anyway, guys, it's time for MVP.
This is my fucking club.
And this is my fucking MVP. Agent June Stahl, I believe for the second time.
I believe so. She's getting close to Clay there. I mean, I think she's the only person to win it multiple times other than Clay.
Could be, but I think Stahl was head and shoulders above everyone else here.
See, for me, I always thought Stahl was the best, like, agent person, the best, like, authority, person with authority, best member of the law. I had a feeling you always said it was Potter.
No, it didn't.
You always seem to like Potter.
I do like Potter, but Stahl's way better than
I
Potter.
think Stahl's way better than Potter. Like,
It would, I mean, in terms of ranking all the police, it would probably go Unser then Stahl, but from a heel point of view, it's obviously Stahl. Unser's not
yeah,
a
I
heel.
would say Unser's top. Like, yeah, Unser is top, but I'm not really counting Unser because he doesn't really seem like a member of the law. He's like one
He's
of
a
the,
member of the
He
club.
feels more like a member of the club than he does a fucking member of the law. Like, sure he is. Whose side's he on 99% of the time?
He feels like less a member of the club, though, like when he's actually not a police officer.
That's true. Actually, he feels like he goes into.
Like, he looks into Tara's, like...
Hold on. Is it legit just me, or does the guy they wear like fucking police work once he steps down?
Yeah, well,
Fucking weird as fuck.
he's doing all
like,
these fucking investigations and as we camper fan.
trying to get assassinated like fucking. By who's that? Find out in the next season, but not the next one, like the next 3, 4 after that. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's it for your review. It was episode 10. It was better back or better half.
Better back, broke back. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.